International Film Festival The Hague.
So I would like to invite to the stage Michel Traurig and Rose Kals, who are the writers, directors and producers of the film Belonging. I would also like to invite the director of the film Books Not Bombs, Stefano Di Pietro. Welcome. Very good having you here with us tonight. Thank you very much for coming. This short documentary, I'm going to start with Belonging, the film Belonging that we saw, the second film in this blog, is about 4 young Ukrainian students, girls who were brought from Kiev to Amsterdam in the midst of the war to be able to finish their studies here. And I would like you to let us know what was the motivation behind making this film. If you can tell us more, please. Thank you.
If I'm coming from, because I'm half Ukrainian, so I wanted to make a project related to Ukraine and the ongoing war. And Rose and me, we met at Campus Doc, which is like a documentary program, and Rose wanted to collaborate. Well, maybe you can also say something about.
Yeah, so Michelle pitched the idea, and I could really see myself in her ideas for the movie. I also really like stories about people and about the things that are happening in the world, and I like her view was that she didn't want to make it too political and really focus on their stories and stories of refugees and how they feel. And yeah, I really like that idea, so that's how we came up with the theme and yeah, the whole film.
How did you meet the man who's behind this, who's shown us a big act of kindness to bring students from Ukraine to Amsterdam?
Yeah, we met him through the girls. We met Alina first. I found her through Instagram, and then we met her roommates, and then they connected us to him. But I had already read an article about him and the amazing things that he was doing, so we were really happy that he wanted to work with us and also be in the movie and tell his story and his motivation.
If you can tell us more, how did you manage to get the girls feel comfortable to tell their very personal and very traumatic stories? How did it go, the whole process of filming?
I think it was really good that we started off just getting to know them and like also more becoming, like building a connection and becoming friends. So we just had like dinner together and got to know them and told them what the project is going to be about, and we just let them know about everything so they could just also be prepared for it. And also during the interviews, which I conducted mostly because like I could understand Russian and partially Ukrainian.
That would have been one of my questions. Now
Yeah.
it explains. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I speak only Russian, but Ukrainian, like I just try to guess most of it, and then I also had some help with translating. Yeah, I think because they were able to also express themselves in their own languages that they're like comfortable with, that also kind of helped with the trust and yeah, building up that connection. And also whenever they didn't want to talk about something which didn't actually happen, but we always tried to give them enough space and like take breaks. Or if we saw that something is maybe a bit too personal, then we just said, okay, no, we're not gonna do that, and just give them their space.
Thank you. I think I would have 1 more million questions, but I would like to ask the audience, if you have questions, could you please raise your hand?
Do you still have contact with the girls? Because I think the movie was made 9 months after the war started, so are you still in contact with them?
Yeah, actually, we are. Like I said, we also kind of became friends, so we also check up on them from time to time. And also for every event like this, we try to make them feel like be part of this. So we also invite them, and would always love to have them there. So yeah, we're still in touch with them, and also with the rest of the crew still. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause for the film Belonging. Thank you. Moving on now to the next film, Books Not Bombs. If you can tell us more. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations to the other films. I really like all the work I've seen, and to the festival for inviting us. Well, it all started with a cry for help, which was sent by Irina, one of the teachers, to Steven, the producer, the director of Euroclio, which is the producer of the film. So also a round of applause for Euroclio. If you can raise some hands. There is Frank, there is Joke, there is Steven there. You have seen him in the film as well. So it started from there, and then as you may have seen in the movie, it's not just a documentary, it's a lot of people who responded. And the documentary was, let's say, an idea I proposed to Steven when he asked me if I wanted to help. And it really resonated with me, also because all the women in my family are teachers. Were teachers, my grandmother as well. So there is some kind of a personal connection to these people who are not recognized enough in their work, even though they bring a big change in society.
Thank you. A lot of the film was shot, of course, in Ukraine. There was actually multiple countries that you were filming in, from what I understood, including the US. But a lot of it was shot in Ukraine, and we could see in the film, and we know about it, there were a lot of universities and education facilities completely destroyed. If you can tell us the experience of shooting that, and how did it feel?
Well, yeah, the last time I went actually 3 weeks ago in Ukraine, also in Kiev and in Kiev Oblast, the region, which places like Borodyanka, Bucha, Buzhova, because this is becoming a bigger project. It's becoming a feature documentary that we are working on. It was not easy at all. I mean, this is also Gianmarco, the line producer, sometimes went even without me. We did several trips together with other humanitarian aids. So that's also an interesting thing. Let's say that there were cargo bringing food, and we were filming and doing interviews. I did these last interviews 3 weeks ago to the Minister of Education as well, and filmed in places that were occupied by the Russians, and it's not easy to experience, to see, to witness. I think that one takeaway is definitely feeling the responsibility of what you're doing as a filmmaker when you tell these stories. So it's not just about us, our work and our personal motivations, which are could be as strong as possible, but it's about other people as well. And then when you look people in the eye and you see their situation, it's their houses that's been destroyed, not mine. You see a moral obligation. You should feel a moral obligation to do your work beyond just professional work. This is it's humans, and that's what we also discussed with Steven a few weeks ago. It's a difficult project to get a feature documentary funded and continue working against time. But the point is, there is a moral obligation. So.
I found it very encouraging, the thought that not only the printing of the new textbooks that will depict the real modern version of a history of Ukraine, but also that these books are going to be available digitally with a full online program. I thought this was an absolutely fantastic idea also for the refugee kids who live abroad. And of course, we've seen through the entire film that there were a lot of children in your film. How was it to direct children in your film?
Well, I have been particularly, let's say, interested in their perspective in the last couple of years, not only about that conflict, this conflict, but also the war in general. Because I believe that there are certain things that are extremely complicated and certain that require complex explanations. But there is also some simplicity that is lost quite often. And the kids remind us that that there is some, that there is there is something that is deeper, and that it's there, and we can see it. So.
Yes, thank you. Do we have questions from the audience? Please raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question.
I would like to ask a question. I was wondering, the local people, how do they react when you shoot there? Are they happy or they react in a different way? What is the relationship with the local people?
It really depends. I think not. So when they understand exactly what you're doing, that you're a journalist, that you're a documentary filmmaker, and that you are telling the story, they're grateful. But first, no. Like first, they're very. They don't want anyone around in a situation like this. Understandable. Of course, it's also their private life that is exposed. So there is this feeling of that you don't feel welcome all the time. But it's understandable, and it's a joy to see they change completely when they understand the context. And we were very welcomed for the people we interviewed and that knew what we were doing, and I will remember them forever.
Please give a round of applause for Film Books Not Bombs and